Hi, there's a good percentage of salespeople that I interview that always ask me the question about getting to the next step, becoming a sales manager. And their question is always about, do I stay in my company or do I go and look outside? So today's subject is about really how do you get from a sales rep to a sales manager? So yes, you have two options. You can try and make that jump within your own organization, but some people tell me they're frustrated. When their employers are looking for a sales manager, they always go outside. So now they're left with, I'm a sales rep, I don't have any management experience, but I want to get to that next step. But then I'm against other people with sales management experience. How do I get there? So here's a couple of tips that you should consider. So the first thing is, realize that not necessarily the top rep is going to be a great manager. But that does not mean that because you're not hitting the numbers, the sky's the limit for you to become a sales manager. You still have to show that you can perform. Another thing is you have to also be perceived as someone who's helpful, because a sales management job, before you were a sales rep, you were all about me. Now it's all about your team members. So you have to be someone who can teach, who can coach, who has wise counsel and being able to give that to your coworkers, especially if you're someone who was promoted in the job. So now people that were on the same level as you are now their manager. So whatever craziness you did as a sales rep, that's going to come back to bite you. So are you someone that brings people together or divides? Because if you are someone who's very divisive, it's going to be very difficult for you to be perceived as a leader, and a sales manager is a leader. Also, so make sure your numbers are being done. Make sure also that you are perceived as a leader, and also too, you need to defend your team, but you also need to defend your company. So a sales manager is stuck between a rock and a hard place. So you need to be able to take some decisions, make some decisions that are not going to be popular. You need to defend your salespeople, but you need to be kind of like Switzerland, you have to be neutral. Also, make sure that you have that organizational skills as a sales manager. I interview salespeople who tell me all the time their sales manager doesn't get back to them, doesn't follow up, they are not learning from their sales manager. You've got to be at the top of your A game. You've got to be learning, and you've got to be teaching, showing, and you need to be able to give feedback. If you cannot give feedback, and the feedback that sometimes is difficult to give, it's all in how you deliver it, but you need to be able to give that because your top reps want to improve, and your job is to help them get there. It's not to make them feel great or to be their friend. So as a sales manager, you got to take a lot of things into consideration and be willing to sometimes step out of your comfort zone and be a little bit uncomfortable. Hope these tips have helped. I'm Dawn Williams. I can reach you on LinkedIn and on Twitter. Happy selling.